Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Flow Academy. Today, we are going to be talking about your roadmap, the daily navigator and the weekly navigator. And this really has sort of become the backbone of our accountability piece. And we're really excited to share it with you. For those of you that are quarter one, you already are very familiar with this. Quarter two, you'll be learning about it. And we're excited to get this going. So today, what we are going to do is we are going to look at, we're going to help you create your own daily navigator. We're going to help you target your first accountability group. And we're going to teach you how to get the most out of your daily, weekly navigator. Now, this is a program, and actually Rick is the one that developed this program. Rick, unfortunately, is not with us today. He may pop in. He landed in Rome today, and he's going to be there for a week. So he was hoping to be on, but he got his times kind of messed up. So hopefully we'll see him a little bit later. But this really came out of this idea of trying to create a way that you could keep yourself accountable for things that you really needed to do. It's really easy for us to say, oh, I want to do all these things today. I need to get these things done. But that's really our to-do list. And then there are those things that you absolutely have to do every day to stay on top of business, to keep your business flowing. And there are also really important things to do for our own personal well-being. So what we've done is we've created an accountability form that divides it into different pieces, and we'll be going through that. So creating your own daily navigator. The daily navigator, as I mentioned, is broken into 4 basic categories. The first one, and this is actually a copy of Rick's daily navigator. So the first part is personal. These are things that you need to do or want to do. Again, these are must-dos. So for Rick, it's drink his greens, meditation and affirmations, spiritual self-improvement reading, and exercise. And the thing that we'll do when we come to these things, the first 3 are pretty, we know what that is, but exercise we'd put in like it's going to be cardio, I'm going to run, I'm going to do weights, whatever that is. So we'll really identify what those things are going to be. Then the next thing is our professional development. Now you'll notice on this, and I will say up front, this is a very personalized daily navigator. This is the one Rick uses. This is not going to be exactly what you use, because what he feels that he needs to do, or Nicole does, or I do, or Lauren's going to do, are going to be different for each of us. So this is just an example. So for Rick, he likes to do his personal things between 5 p.m. the night before and 9 a.m. the next day. And then he wants to do his professional stuff between 9 and 5. So this might be different things for us, but just know that this can be arranged in a situation that's going to work best for you. So the professional items, these are things, again, that you must do. And I want to make it really clear that the items that are on this list are not things that you have to do every day. They're the things that you're choosing to be held accountable for. So I may fill this out and I may check off 3 or 4 things in total, and that's all. And then there are other days that I'll check every single one because I want to be held accountable to do those things. So it really is going to be up to you. There are also going to be days, two of my daily navigator accountability people said, no daily navigator for me today. I'm going to be in the middle of doing something else and I don't need to be held accountable. So all of this has to do with when you need or want to be held accountable by your accountability group. The next thing that we do, and this we do at the end of the day, we put down our gratitude list. 3 things that happen to us during the day that we are thankful for or have gratitude towards. And then we also put down what I observed, learned, or relearned, struggled with, and things that maybe inspired you, an idea or something that happened during the day in the win. So this is a little journaling place. So this is where you can write out, here's what happened to me today. Here's what I learned. Here's what I struggled with. And you're sharing this with your accountability partners. And you may hear back from them to say, do you want to talk about that? And with others, it's just a place to write it down. And then the next part is your accountability partners are listed here. So for Rick, these are all the people that his accountability, his daily navigator is going to go to. So first, we're going to look at personal development. These are things like life skills. Maybe you're taking a class, maybe things that you want to improve on, physical. These are things like working out, exercising, Mental health is important for all of us. So these are things that you want to do. It might be meditation, it might be yoga, whatever the types of things that you do for your mental health. Spiritual health could be readings, could be talking to specific people, and then educational. These are things that I want to do to better myself. Maybe I'm going to take a class or something like that. So think about this for a minute. And for those of you that are able to drive, I know Danny's not going to be able to do this, but just think about it. You should have printed a sheet that has a list of some things on it. So the homework from last week was to write down 2 personal and 2 professional things that you want to accomplish that are kind of your daily things. So if you've printed out the daily navigator, the blank, just write those in. If they fall under personal or if they fall under professional, just go ahead and write those down. So I'll just give you a minute to do that. Danny, you can be mentally doing this in your car.
She almost looks like she's doing it. That's great.
She does. So maybe there's something that you want to be more purposeful about, something that you really want to do that is going to make you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So these are the things that we want to write down. Some of the things that this might include might be family time. I want to focus on being available for my family, or maybe volunteering. Maybe you want to write a book. Rick has this one on here because he is actually writing a book, which is exciting. Maybe you want to learn an instrument. So these are all things that you want to do for yourself. That if you do this every day, this practice, you'll be able to get where you want to be. So this is the idea of the purposeful things that you want to do in your personal life. And then we have professional development. Now, this is what that one looks like. And these are going to be things like having face-to-face meetings. I want to get in front of this many people a day. Now, we have this divided into 2 places. We have for face-to-face, it would be like having a meal with them, maybe getting together for lunch or drinks or something like that. And it could be a Zoom call. For all of us right now, we are going to be connecting with each other through Zoom. And Zoom in these days of post-COVID is completely acceptable. Popeyes are a great thing. Carol talks about that a lot. She likes to just pop by and see if clients are around and just check in with them. It's an easy thing to do if you work in a city where you go by houses that you've sold occasionally, and you maybe see a car out and just pop by and say hello. And then chance meetings or on purpose meetings where you set up, hey, I want to get together with you to hand off something or to talk about something. So these are all things that are part of our professional development. And then planning events. We talked a lot about that yesterday in our book club about setting up specific events for your client, your sphere of influence, and your clients. So touches with people can be text, it can be email, it can be phone, but all of these touches are meaningful and they're a great way to interact with our clients. So a text, email, phone, if you're just saying, hey, loan docs are in, that's not going to be a big interaction. But if it's really to discuss something or talk about something, especially with phone, those are things that are going to count as part of our professional development. And we'll see where we're going to put that in our weekly navigator that's going to keep track of all of these items. So for many of you, you know what Ford is. We're going to be having another class about what Ford is, but Ford is a set of questions that you ask people that you're speaking with. And it really brings forward less about you and all about them, because in any discussions that we want to have, we always want it to be about the other person. And my golden question for other people is, tell me more about that, because that opens them up and allows them to talk more. So the idea of Ford questions is talking about family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And you don't have to talk all 4 of these in order to ask Ford questions. But this kind of gives us a framework of questions that you can ask that really open people up to talk to us. And that's all about developing the relationship, which is what we're all about. Personal notes. This is something I love to do. And I do a minimum, I try to do a minimum of 2 a day. And it's reaching out to people. These do not have to be clients. This is reaching out to anybody. And it could be thank you cards. It can be anniversary cards. I do a lot of just because cards. Hey, I was thinking about you and just wanted to check in. And birthday cards are obviously a great thing. If you have clients and they have a partner or they have kids, it's good to know all those birthdays and keep those cards going. So here are some optional development things that you might want to put in professionally. This is what Nicole loves to do. Is this you, Nicole?
Yes.
No. But Nicole is a door knocker. And so that might be something that you do for your professional development. There are a lot of people that do video content. And this may be something you do, or it may be somebody that you hire to do it for you. Social media posting, of course, that is always something that's good to do just to keep your brand going. So again, under professional development, we want to put things down of things that we must do, not necessarily a to-do list. So that's what goes into this list. So some other things with professional development. Does anybody have other things that they do that we didn't talk about that are something that you would do every day to develop your business? Anybody want to share anything? Okay, that's fine. But there are other things, of course, in there as well. So the gratitude, let me get out of the way. The gratitude list is really important because it helps us stay centered on the things that we did today that we're grateful for. And getting your mindset into that place of gratitude can be a very affirming and positive thing. So 3 things, I have a roof over my head. I'm thankful for a friend of mine that I spent time with. I maybe closed a deal and it was a tough one. I'm really happy to have that done. And then the other part is the journaling. And it's things, again, that you learned, relearned, struggled with. This is just a good way to point down and let your accountability partners know what you're dealing with. So who are your accountability partners? So they're made up of 3 different types of people. There's a mentor. That's somebody that you sort of look up to and you feel that they are helping to develop you. You look to them for guidance. You look to them for ideas to really work through things. Then there are peers. Peers are the ones that are, doing what you are doing, and you're kind of at the same level in development. And then there's a mentee, and this is probably, for me, it's my favorite. It's those people that I am in service to, and I'm trying to help develop business, develop goals, develop business planning, and really help to create a better life for themselves. So as we are going through our daily navigator, think about right now, who's somebody that you might want to include on your daily navigator who is a mentor to you, who's a peer to you, and who's a mentee to you. Now, we've broken you into accountability groups. My group just talked a couple minutes ago. So these are going to be the people on our list that will definitely be getting our daily navigator. But you might want to put, I have a couple of people. I have my sister on. I have a former business partner of mine. I have some other people on the list. They do not do the daily navigator, but they look at my daily navigator and they comment almost every day. So the people that you're choosing for your list do not need to be doing the daily navigator. They're just people that you want to be in your accountability group of people that are holding you accountable to the things that you're doing. So then there's the next component. This component is just as important as the daily navigator. So here's what it looks like. And you'll see that the daily navigator is broken into every day. And this is where you kind of have the scorecard of writing down everybody that you talk to. So your flow connections are those people that are, maybe you've called them, maybe you've texted with them, maybe you've had a Zoom call with them. These are the people that you have kind of communicated with every day. Now, this is the one that I use. This is the one that Nicole uses and Rick uses, and a lot of the Q1 people are using. It has a total of 10 blanks on here for flow connections. So the goal that we have is to touch 50 people a week. So you may want to touch 5 people a week. It really is up to you. This is just kind of to give you an example of what it looks like. So my goal is to talk to 50 people a week. And so as I write these in, I oftentimes will go over that. So today's Wednesday. Yeah, so on mine, I'm just caught up with where I need to be. But if when I go further, I can bleed into the next day. So it's not like, okay, I've talked to 10, I'm done. And some days I only get 8. So therefore you just kind of keep filling them in. Some days you're going to get more, some days less, but you want it to complete by the end of your week. Then there's the break bread or the face-to-face or Zoom or whatever. When you're face-to-face with people, they go into the next. And again, this is Rick's weekly navigator. He wants to talk to a minimum of 3 people a week, face-to-face. So that's his goal. And that's why he has 3 spaces. Then there's writing personal notes. In his case, he wants to do a minimum of 2 a day. I usually do about that, maybe a few more because I enjoy doing it, but I want to do a minimum of 10 a week. And then the next one is you can write in if you have another thing. For me, it's posting the daily navigator or the daily flow. So I have a daily flow box, and then I check it when I've taken care of those things. So each column is a day. And I just want to point out on this one, we're going to be talking about this a little bit later. For those in Q1, you've already heard about this. In Q2, so Rick has this divided that Monday is his check-in day. So that's when he's going to check in with all of his current clients. Tuesday is VIP day. That's when he talks to the people that are in his VIP list. So he intentionally calls those people to make those connections. Wednesday is when he connects in with his leads. And Thursday is letter of the weekday. Nicole, would you mind explaining letter of the weekday? Because it's not letter, it's like more alphabet than writing a letter.
Yeah, like the first week of the year is A, second week is B, and then we end up going through every letter of the alphabet twice. And we go by first name, you can go by last name. So he'll get a list of all of his contacts at least twice a year that he's reaching out to.
So what I really like that Nicole and Rick do is they've divided it into Monday is this day for me, Tuesday is this day for me, and it can keep things in a place that it's easier to keep track of. So each one of those boxes is a day of the week, and you saw the way that it can be a specific thing that you do. And it also correlates with your daily navigator. And that's why I say these 2 pieces of paper work completely together. And since I said piece of paper, let me say this. We have found that if you use a pen or a pencil and actually write things down, it goes from your hand to your head. So it makes more sense. We've been talking about doing an electronic format for this, which might just, I mean, we're in kind of that tech age. It might be an easier way for people to be able to do it on their smart device. But at this point, and as we are starting out with this quarter, we just think that it's it makes much more sense actually doing pen to paper. So that's why we're going to do these pen to paper as we start. So the other thing is you never want to repeat the same person in the category. So when I say I'm going to talk to 50 people this week, it has to be 50 different people. So if I talk to Nancy 3 times this week, I'm not going to put her name in 3 times, even though I talked to her 3 times. I'm just going to do it once. Or if I'm talking to Lauren, I'll just put her name once, even though we may talk several times. And it gets filled in every day, and it's sent to your accountability group. So the lead tracker is on the bottom, and the lead tracker talks about, hey, I got this new lead today. I'm going to put it down into the bottom of my weekly navigator, and it's going to look for where did the lead come from? What are you going to do with this? And how are you going to be able to make sure that you make this happen?